Well, just a short time ago, opposition leader Peter Dutton delivered a major pre-election pitch in the electorate of Chisholm in Melbourne. Joining me live now to discuss it is Nationals leader David Littleproud. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon. We just heard the pitch there from Peter Dutton. Tell us, does he have what it takes to lead the coalition to victory?
Well, he does. It's about getting back to basics. It's about making sure we solve the nation's problems, not by just continuing to spend the nation's money, because ultimately that runs out. You've got to fix the fundamentals. And I think Australians have been able to answer a question about whether they feel better off after 3 years of Anthony Albanese. But they're now saying, well, I don't think it's going to get any better if we give him another 3 more years. In fact, Treasury themselves say that our standard of living won't return to what the coalition left it before the last election until after 2030. So we need a sensible energy policy, one in the here and now that gets gas into the system to reduce your bill down now. That'll also drive down your food bill. And if we take on the supermarkets and give protections, then there'll be fairness and transparency from the farm gate to your plate. And we've got to have a sensible migration policy, one that works for Australia, one that we determine who comes to this country, the skills they have and where we want them to live. We need some people who are going to build some homes because young people lost hope. And we need to ban foreign investors from competing with Australians at auctions on a Saturday for a couple of years to give them hope. So this isn't big spending announcements. This is just using some common sense and pulling policy levers rather than spending your money to solve the nation's problems. And that's what the nation needs in tough times. They need strong leadership. And a Dutton Littleproud government will give that strong leadership. We're going to look you in the eye and get on with the job and tell you how we're going to do it.
And the speech was delivered in the Labor electorate of Chisholm in Melbourne there. That's quite bold. Can you tell us why was Chisholm chosen? Are you hoping to win back that seat this election?
Yeah, if we don't win Chisholm, you get 3 more years of Anthony Albanese. And it's important that these seats in the suburbs of our capital cities that left us at the last election return. And they return because they understand the vision that we have. It's simple, it's back to basics to get the country back on track. It's nothing flash, it's nothing fancy. And when these people in these suburbs are hurting and they're feeling their wallets bled every day because of the ideology of Anthony Albanese, we've got to be able to come here, look them in the eye and articulate exactly how we're going to change the course of this country to make their life better, to return their standard of living. And that's why we'll be doing these, not just in Chisholm, but in all these marginal seats around the country, to make sure that Australians know there is a way to solve our nation's problem. Anthony Albanese, they've given up on, but the coalition has a plan. It's a simple plan. It's back to basics, and it means it's going to return your standard of living sooner.
And you did mention energy there. That was a key point of the opposition leader's speech. Peter Dutton said that the coalition will ramp up domestic gas production to get power prices down and restore stability to the grid. Now, of course, last election, Labor came in with a promise to reduce household electricity prices by $275, a number we've heard a lot of times. Will you be putting a number on how much you plan to bring prices down by?
Yeah, well, Anthony Albanese promised $275, but your bill's gone up by over $1,000. What we're saying is that in the short term, the only way to reduce your energy bill is to increase supply, and the only way to increase supply quickly is gas. We need to bring gas on quickly, and you can do that within 12, 18 months, and that's why we're making further announcements about what that'll look like. But in the long term, we've got to leave a legacy that has an energy mix, not has all our energy eggs in one basket. No country of the industrial scale the size of Australia has gone down an all renewables approach. It can't be done. So what we need to do is have an energy mix, particularly when we own all our resources, and that's where we'll show the short term is about reducing your energy bill and your food bill with gas. The long term is about setting up a legacy for our country with nuclear energy giving us the base load power we need to keep the lights on and industry going. And already that long term policy has been costed to show that it'll cost 44% less than what Labor's all renewables approach, and it gives it the reliability and reduction in emissions that they're saying they can get. So it just makes sense to go down a nuclear path.
And we did actually see, from what I've heard, some protesters from Solutions for Climate Australia outside the rally location there. They were holding up banners saying no to nuclear. Did they cause any disruption at all? And are you expecting to see this sort of thing at future rallies to come prior to the election?
Well, look, that's the great thing about living in Australia, you can protest. But to these people who live in the suburbs of Melbourne, we all want to reduce our emissions. We want a cleaner environment. But I don't think what they understand is the burden they're asking regional Australians to bear. They want an all-renewables approach. And I just say to them, please, take the time before you protest to come out and look what's being done to the natural environment on this reckless race to all renewables. The native habitat that's being destroyed to put up transmission lines, solar panels and wind turbines. When if we want to protect the planet, reduce emissions, why wouldn't we do that in a sensible way that doesn't take away that and in fact protects your food security? So no one, ideologically, we all want to save the planet and do the right thing by it. But I just think some of them are a little misguided. And I just encourage them before they come and protest here and have puerile three-eyed fish pumped out in front of the auditorium here, that they actually come and actually understand the lived experience of what they're asking regional Australians to bear their ideology. You can meet their ideology, but we should do it a uniquely Australian way and a way that doesn't impact regional Australia, doesn't impact your food security and drive up your food prices and protects the environment.
All right, Nationals leader David Littleproud, thanks so much for your time this afternoon.